Let me catch up on chat. I'm way behind on chat here. You guys, they were busy.
Can everybody hear me all right?
Yeah, let us know if I'll be able to tell that, Dave, because I'm streaming. The quality of the video is going to be a little less because what we're having to do is, because like I said, the frame rates on my computer just gag, and so trying to run Skype and the broadcast software and all this stuff, it's too much for my piece of crap machine. So we're going to have Dave kind of sharing his window. You can still be able to see all this stuff. It's not going to be amazing, but okay.
But you'll have this. You'll be playing this yourself, and hopefully not too long. So it's all good. Just answering some questions and explaining to you what's going on. So before I get to the questions in the chat room, I'm just going to bring everybody up to speed, kind of on the design and the business end of all the decisions that led to what you're seeing right now. Stop me if I'm rambling. I know you guys have been already listening.
They've been hearing me for the last hour, so I'm just going to shut up and I'm going to drink some water, and you just carry it for a little while here, brother.
Oh, look at that close line. That was beautiful. Okay, so here's the deal. All right, we're making a wrestling game. We have a lot of competition out there. Most of it pretty friendly, but of course the big bad dog in the house is WWE games. So when you are in our position, there's so many things that you can't do better than WWE because they're simply a matter of expensive to do and we're poor. So we need to look for things that we can do that WWE games either can't or they won't for whatever reason. And one of the ideas that I had back in the day, we kind of joke about it, inside joke, you would often, there's two questions you would always get from people on social media when they go up for Wrestling X. The first question was always, is Hulk Hogan in the game? Spelled incorrectly. Always. Right?
Yep.
And the other comment was, you should use endorphin. And if you're not familiar, endorphin is just like a little physics kind of program that a lot of video games use to incorporate real-time ragdoll physics into their games. Usually in first-person shooters, you get shot in the head, flop around as you fall to the ground, right? So what I thought would be cool to try is incorporating ragdoll physics into a wrestling game. Hadn't really been done, to the best of my knowledge, up until now. And we thought that the best, kind of coolest way to incorporate ragdoll would be in the form of knockouts, ragdoll knockouts. So I wanted to see if we could do something like, once your opponent was kind of standing there idle and stunned, you had the opportunity to wind up with a strike and he would react with ragdoll physics. I thought that would be really cool. We could use weight detection, so obviously like the bigger wrestlers would send the guys flying farther than the smaller wrestlers, It would be a really cool use of weight detection and strength and stats and all that stuff. And I thought, it could make for some really cool spots, doing a drop kick to a ragdoll opponent through some tables or something would look really cool. But before we were able to do that, we had to first make sure that ragdoll would even work, period, in our game. And the easiest, least complicated path to testing ragdoll physics is to simply see your wrestler fall. High places.
You got, and the highest place we got is Old Blue.
So, asked Robert to test the ragdoll physics and to use that for when your opponent would fall from the top of the cage. Now, we need to obviously develop quickly, and in order to actually cut down on the amount of animations that we needed to request from our animator, we decided that while we will let you grab and shake the cage and do fun stuff like that, for this initial test of ragdoll physics, you would just, run, bounce off the ropes, and knock the cage and send the guy flying, right? Ideally, you might want to set your physics options to more realistic gravity and whatnot, and when your opponent fell from the top of the cage, he would kind of fall more or less straight down. But we're not going to see any bugs or
we're
not going to see any bugs or glitches unless we really crank crank the frickin' forces and gravity and stuff to test the ragdoll physics. That's why right now you barely touch the cage while your opponent's off of it, and you will flick him through the sky like a pinball, man. And that's going to let us.
You should do that because it's awesome to watch.
Yeah, let me see if my opponent will actually get up and try it.
He can knock you off the cage. That's fun too.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll try. Do I have the AI set even on? Yeah,
he'll rush you.
All right, well, let's see what happens, man. So I'm just going to exit the cage here.
Do you want to talk a little bit about? We had a question right away, is if they were going to have an exit through a door versus over the top only.
Oh yeah, well we've got the door. Okay, watch this. Boom! And you can see he flies, does a flip. Oh, right on his head.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Oh, God, yeah. And he lives through it. All right, so you can see that this is the scenario that we wanted to test, all right? So I'm going to actually climb up the side of the cage so you can actually see just how far he flies. Really went crazy with it here. All right? So, it wants to fly. Boom! Will it ever stop being hilarious?
Oh, God!
And then he will reset to a regular idle after giving you a couple seconds there to grab a screenshot. So this lets us know that Ragdoll is working.
Oh, God, he landed on his legs.
I know, eh? We're going to let you guys play around with the game, even with these insane settings right now. I know this is probably the farthest thing from a sim-style wrestling game, but we've already been talking about it. Curiosity, this guy's already going to win. God damn it, I let him escape.
That's the one downside, is if at least he's going to win, you should be able to knock him off so that he ragdolls into the crowd.
I know, right? Exactly. So, where was I? Totally forget. Now that we know the ragdoll is working, we're going to let you guys play with it. We've talked amongst the crew in that it's going to be possible for us to let you actually pick some settings for the ragdoll physics, like you can play with the gravity a bit if you really want to see guys fly. And you can obviously, we're going to let you play with the constraints of the joints. So, for instance, your arm won't be able to bend all the way around your back, a couple times, unless you want to let the joints be that unrestrained, right? You'll have the option to see how realistically joints will be able to move in the ragdoll.
I gotta tell you, Dave, not to interrupt, I'm sitting here thinking it would be really fun if you were somehow able to grab him as he was climbing on the other side of the cage. So you could be able to prevent a victory like that. Because right now, you're right. As soon as he makes the turn, there's nothing you can do. You're screwed.
No, nothing. Yeah,
so you just have to sit there. And so if you're able to, grab him and maybe, do something to, force him back in. I don't know how you do that exactly, but even if you could, maybe reach over. If your guy was, right behind him, kind of climbing all the way up, and then he made the turn and you were in that idle position where he's straddling the cage. If you're somehow able to reach down and grab him and then kind of lift him back up, that would be sweet.
You should be able to pull him up, right? If you're but the thing is, how often in a cage match have you seen the opponent, get within a foot of the floor on the other side and then climb back in? It always is kind of over at that point, right?
No, I know. I'm just trying to think of other things.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be some. Cage matches are notoriously sucky in all wrestling games, usually, right? Because of that very glaring, balancing of gameplay.
We're also getting pretty mixed opinions on transparency of the cage. Oh, God, what are you going to set up here?
What happened?
It is back. Oh, God. Oh, Dave, this is going to be way too much fun. When I get the screenshot mode going, it's wonderful. I had it really nice up close and everything. No, we had some controversy about the transparency of the front of the cage.
The hell's going on here?
Ouch. Come on, man.
I think
PG.
And Grasshopper is excited about that as everyone else was, man. Transparency of the cage. We're playing with that again. I know it sounds like a cop-out answer, but the whole the whole thing about Pro Wrestling X is giving you freedom of choice. So we'll let you guys decide if you want to keep the cage solid, or if you want it to be transparent if it becomes between the action and.
I think like the chain link would probably be easier to see through, but like that right there, I think looks wonderful the way that you've got it, or the way that it's zoomed out. Now when you zoom in, it looks more menacing, but the bars are thick. I mean, this is not There's some detection issues with the clothesline. I did a lot of slow-mos with all the new stuff. Everybody loved the ballista bomb. Is that what wasn't it, or ballista bomb? Or what did we call it?
The ballista bomb.
Ballista bomb. That Grimhold's new finisher. Big marks, and it looks wonderful. There's only a couple of areas that I think would need any kind of cleanup at all, but it looks so nice. It looks so nice.
I'm liking that. So I love that kind of thing, right? So just getting back to I'll start going through some of the questions here and just let the AI fight for a while. But so some things we're going to give you the option to do, of course, is play with the transparency of the cage, play with the settings of the physics, but also, ideally, and this won't be happening for a while, is we'd like to give you a lot of options on when ragdoll physics is even possible. Because a lot of guys are going to want to just not have ragdoll at all. It takes them out of the realism of the game, and I totally get that. It just means we're going to have to do some animation to kind of fill in the gaps, right? For instance, right now you've got ragdoll obviously available where you see it there in the cage. Something that is possible, but I have yet to pull it off. I don't know if you have, Eric, but apparently if your opponent is in the middle of the air from a moonsault, you can strike him somehow and cause him to actually
botch
the moonsault. Yeah.
No.
I can't get the effing computer to do it, but apparently you got to get your computer to try to moonsault, and then I think you have to hit him with the run animation, just like when you hit the cage wall.
Really?
So I think it's like next to impossible.
Well, I mean, I was wondering if I try moonsaults, like if it would be I don't know, like if the computer, like you set the computer to aggressive, and then maybe then you try moonsaults and see if he lands one.
Well, let's see. I'm going to try a moonsault here. I just nailed him. Right, so that's another instance where mid-air opponents can be affected by a ragdoll collision. Somebody in the chat here said, with the ragdolls have hitboxes that affect the opponent. In certain cases, we would like to allow that. Ideally, we want to have ragdoll optional when your opponent is standing and stunned. So you can do imagine just doing a running kendo strike with a ragdoll opponent. I think that would just look sickening,
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Is because ragdoll. I mean, we've seen it in UFC and MMA, or even in occasional spots where guys get knocked out and their whole body just flops and they just land in different ways. And I think that's what we're trying to simulate.
Yeah, originally the idea, for ragdoll was just as a special kind of knockout. I was actually thinking of it as sort of a Pro Wrestling X's, critical from Fire Pro, where it would be fairly rare to be able to pull off a ragdoll knockout, but cool. But we can let you do ragdoll, optional almost anywhere. It's just going to get pretty goofy looking if we do it too much in too many places, right? But another place where ragdoll we know we want to try is actually letting ragdoll finish power moves, especially if you want to control throwing someone through a table with a power bomb. We would actually like to be able to turn on the ragdoll as you release your opponent, so he crashes against the guardrail or whatever with a ragdoll. I think that would look really cool as well. And of course, how can you have ragdoll physics and a scaffold match and not enjoy the insanity that would come from that, throwing guys off the scaffold, right?
We had a question. Do we have the Roaring Elbow in the game yet? Or is that just something that Mr. Wrestling 5 has been working on?
I don't think he put it in the game yet.
Okay, I didn't think so.
I haven't been able to figure out. Yeah,
because I love that thing. My God, I love especially the GIF that you posted on Facebook where the guy is just he's just standing there and he just gets absolutely clobbered.
I can't say enough how much complimentary, feedback we get about the quality of the animations that our lead animator does for Pro Wrestling X. We're very, very, very lucky to have him. And it just goes to show, take your time. I'd rather. I just caused the glitch. No, I didn't. He came back in. Cool.
That happens every once in a while. You see that. I got to tell you, the 4-player is now a mess. It's almost unplayable because of all the teleporting bugs. I'm sure he's working on it and he's going to clean it all up. I'm just.
Well, yeah.
It was bad when I kind of had that to start, and everybody's like, "Hey, everybody's Nightcrawler." It's Nightcrawler mode.
Robert mentioned that he didn't even make it possible to do a 4-way inside the cage with physics. Instead, it was just a nightmare, right?
And that's totally cool. Like I said, it was funny. Oh, you wait. Oh no! Oh God!
Look at that bounce. Will this ever get old? I don't think so. Man.
Oh, this is a bad one. Oh, my God.
I know. Yeah. That's just too awesome. I think I'm going to actually have to
mass transit. Oh, my God. Everybody's going, whee!
I know, man. It's great. I think I'm going to have to end the match and do some CPU stuff just so I can enjoy some of the insanity and answer some questions too, man. So yeah, we just want to get everybody's feedback.
Yeah. So we'll have to get some clips going so we can start sharing this stuff. Just isolate some. Are you capping video when you're doing this stuff? What do you use?
Not at the moment, no. When I cap video, I just use Fraps.
So you're Frapsing. Okay.
Yeah, I got a legit licensed version of Fraps with all the latest updates, so it seems to cap stuff pretty smooth, as long as I'm not trying to do 50 other things at the same time, right?
Yep, okay. Because that's what I'd love to do, is I'd love to just do a session of some slow-mos, some all that kind of stuff, and start putting together a fun little trailer of all this kind of stuff. So.
Oh, I just got something major there. Well, see, that's the thing, right? We're at the point right now. There's so much cool stuff that I want to be able to capture that's happening in the game, I've almost got to just let the entire match friggin' capture, right? What I'd like to do now with the end of the game scorecard, with ragdoll physics, I would sure like to start tracking actual injuries to your body parts and how much damage.
That's a great opening clothesline. Yeah. Clothesline's a little rough at times. I've got a couple glitchy ones, but I took really good slow-mo vids.
Nice.
Some of them the animation when it's perfect, it looks amazing. But there's just a couple of spots where the guy will kind of flip around, and so you're kind of hitting him in the back of the head, and it's just little things like that. But God, it looks so sick. These guys did such a good.
Awesome. Yep. That's awesome, man. So I'd love to hear what people think about, by adding ragdoll physics to this wrestling game that we've always prided ourselves on being like an Aki-inspired sim style. Have we wrecked the spirit of Pro Wrestling X, or have we added to what makes it all magical and cool? Do you think Aki would have actually done something like this had they had the opportunity like we had?
I think Ragdoll's a little arcadey, but it's such. I don't know if they would have done it or not, but God, there's got to be like a happy medium there where. Because, like I said, for pure entertainment value, that's why I said I want the setting. I want the ability to be able to isolate that and have a preference for something like that. Because I said that for sheer entertainment value, that is just bananas. Whether or not you're wanting it when you're doing your everyday wrestling match, I don't know. But I think once we start implementing it in other ways, like I said, the knockouts and all that stuff, I think are going to be pretty amazing. So
I agree. I think it'll be cool. So you know what? I think I'm going to back it off here onto an exhibition match. Because otherwise, and let the CPUs play, and then after some questions. And boy, you know what? There's a whole list of stuff that's been added to this game in this update that I don't even think we've touched on most of it yet.
I did for this new one.
Oh,
yeah, I did.
Right,
I went through and I showed the new weapons walking in and out of the ring. I showed off the new ballista bomb. I showed off the new running clothesline, the new running attack, which looks it's just really sick.
Yeah.
I was trying to go through the list of everything because I wanted to make sure I give
Thank
Robert
you.
some footage of showing him what worked or not. So if you're watching this after the fact, go take a look at part 1 of this video, and you'll be able to see a lot of that stuff. So when will you guys show the massive crowds and lighting system? We're working on that. We're revamping the whole thing, which I think you posted something to Facebook today, didn't you?
Yeah. There's it's in progress right now. I'm having some fun with the crowd a little bit. There's some faces in the crowd that the wrestling gamers might
Yep.
get a kick out of, some special guests appearing and
Black
whatnot.
bar cage and mess cages. Eventually, we're going to be able to get all those cages in the game. We just wanted to start with Old Blue because it hasn't been in a game in a while, and that was one of our Kickstarter stretch goals, was that you guys funded Old Blue to get in the game, and it looks, God, and Mr. Wrestling 5 did such a good job with this. It looks great.
Yeah, I believe we actually have a couple screenshots of the cage. We got a mesh cage ready to go.
Yeah, we do actually have a mesh cage kind of built, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we do, man. We do, totally. Let me, I'm just going to back out and see if I can get a CPU match going here. Zero.
Try to do a
next
four-way and see if it just if it turns into a cluster. Do a four-way elimination is how I usually do it when I'm broadcasting.
Okay, sure. Why not, man? Will the next weapon be a steel chair? Actually, no. What we're going to do is probably take advantage of that baseball bat grip.
Yeah, I was explaining that a little bit earlier, talking about how we have that single-hander, like kind of that double grip, and so you have things like bats and things that are kind of the natural progression.
We got a barbed wire baseball bat. Needs to happen.
Yep. Oh, God, we sure do.
Just needs to, man. Okay, so Eric, what do you do here? You go exhibition.
PWX four-way. And then four-way elimination.
Okay.
And then I'll just end up then you just lose. Or get beat up, or just let it go. You just usually let it go because they'll come get you. But see if the teleportation bugs get you as much as they get me. But
that's absolutely.
It was a little crazy because they started off. I'm like, "Hi guys, how's it going?" And they all start jumping around on the screen, like, "Oh God, it's." And then so everybody just gives me, it's Nightcrawler mode, and they were very nice and sporting about it.
Cool. Handlebar. Will there be a TLC or ladder match or backstage brawls? Absolutely, all that stuff is coming down the road, man. Very little won't be in the game.
Oop, you're breaking up, Dave. You're sitting on your mic again.
Shouldn't be. Let me just.
Okay, now you're back.
Okay, cool. I just gotta get past all the entrances here. Otherwise, I get drowned out with all the audio that doesn't get turned off. Okay, cool. Go, guys. Yeah, pretty, something's going on. Oh, good.
No, I told you. It was, we'll just let it go. Let's just see how it goes. I mean, although it's funny, after we restarted, we lost. We had a peak of 27 viewers here tonight. I think that's a record for us.
Hey, nice, man.
Xeron, when will this update launch? That is a very, very good question.
I think we'll probably do some testing. I say do one round of testing to iron anything.
I'd like to fix the teleportation bugs in the 4-player mode. Yeah. That's what I'd like to at least get that cleaned up, and maybe clean up the crowd. Something that kind of gets the frame rates back a little bit better, but it's not bad. It's the 4-player just where things get a little squirrely, and I'll bet Robert has got like a quick, simple fix for something like that. It's probably one little setting that it's throwing everything off because it's only happened with this build. So
well, of course, too, we always do have the coward's way out in that we didn't actually promise or even offer 4 or 3-way matches for the Kickstarter deliverable. So if we have to take them out just for the Kickstarter deliverable, we're allowed.
No, I don't. That's an argument. I would put up a fight on that one. I don't think you have to.
Well, we just got to make them better. I mean, I'm usually the first guy to say we can ship anything in early access and it's forgivable, but I want to clean this up before shipping that and calling it done. But, So I'm just going to go backwards to the questions because I'm Ukrainian and that's the way we do things. Change colors of the cage, like the ring colors? Absolutely. I think we want to be able to do that. One of the things that we were working on with the cage model itself is because we are going to be Pro Wrestling X will be the king of deathmatch video games. Wanted to make sure that any blood splatter that hit the cage would stay there. and that required Robert and Mr. Wrestling 5. They had to do a lot of work on remodeling and texturing the cage. Look at this, this is good. This is what Robert.
This is actually really we laugh, but this is so critical. Robert goes back and he watches these videos, and he's able to tell like what the hell's going on, and so he's able to fix it, because sometimes these problems are really hard to like track down and figure out what the hell's going on and like replicate, so that, you know, because it's hard as a bug fixer for web stuff. I can tell you, if you can't replicate the error, it's very hard to fix it. So go attack him or something. This is a nice little look that you've got going on here.
Yeah, a little bit of square dancing here, right?
No, but this is good though. This actually, like I said, it's he'll
be able to get some good clues out of this, eh? Yeah.
Like, how can Robert tell? Usually, like I said, I don't know how he can tell. I assume he can just tell by what the wrestler's behaving. He knows a lot more about the plumbing and the inside of what's happening with this thing than I do. You'll see that happening, Dave, that glitch every once in a while, where like the wrestler will like turn to like a puddle of goo and stretch over the course of the. So I'm assuming that's like a little transformation. I'm assuming that's going to be based on like scaling or something, but I don't really know.
Well, here's where we're going to be. We're anticipating running into our first really major hurdle of a clusterfuck for development. The engine that we're currently using, they're not going to support the current version. They're forcing everybody to upgrade to the newest version of the Unity engine that we're using. And of course, the animation blending system that Robert's working on to smooth out all these transitions, get rid of these bugs, they are forcing us to drop that system and use their new system, which we haven't tested and know it's going to work. So Pro Wrestling X might have to go back into the oven for a while here while we make the upgrade to this new engine. Not going to do the upgrade until we've got a solid 1.0 to actually upgrade from, and a good working game, you know. But as someone mentioned, that the gameplay seemed a lot smoother because we are working on
that 1v1 looks pretty tight. I'm telling you, it's only the 4. I didn't try 3. Well, and I'm wondering. I got to tell you, Dave. I'm wondering too if you started a match that didn't have the guys with the new pose. I'm wondering if that would be. Well, I don't know, because even some of the other guys are jumping around quite a bit. But I'm wondering if that was part of it too, because with the I don't know if that would have an effect or not. I'm trying to think of like why it would be doing that all of a sudden, and that would be the only change that I could think of.
Well, see, that's why we have wonderful testers who are going to capture videos.
Yeah, we got a bug squad now, and thank you for all your help to our bug squad who's been helping us out.
Which I noticed, Robert, if you're listening, we need to update the credits of the game and add our bug testing squad to the credits. We got all their names and everything that they want to make sure they get credit. Because the last bug fixing updates, man, they were critical, no pun intended, in...
Well, they found really obscure ones. I mean, that's what's astonishing is we can only find so many, but we got a lot of guys that really put a lot of hours into the game, and that's God. That feels.
Simply Travis wants to know: will we ever see hit combos for characters? You mean like striking combos, like the old revenge kind of
like Street Fighter or some of those other? I would imagine.
I got nothing against trying it. I mean, we really want to try everything that people suggest and see how it flies. You know, I mean, you might see a lot of features kind of come and go in Pro Wrestling X that sounded like a good idea and sucked, and we took them out. You know, it seems like Ragdoll people want to give it the green light to continue.
Yeah, I gotta say, I thought there'd be a few people for sure that would hate it tonight, but everybody was marking out pretty good for it. So,
well, when you kind of imagine what might be possible in the future with high places and breakable objects, it's going to be pretty cool, right?
Well, even just like being able to knock somebody out, like if they've climbed like the Titantron or like an entrance ramp or something. I mean, it's the potential is there. Like I think if there's just a way, what we have to do is figure out a way to where people are stunned, kind of like what you did in No Mercy, where you were able to stun the guy, and then if you're able to come through with this huge strike turns the ragdoll on, they flip, they dive. I think that's the key to all that stuff. And that way, you'd have a legitimate force that's applied, like a running clothesline, a running strike. It would really flop the guy all the way around. So. Yeah.
I'd love that. I mean, just any of those big strikes, like the Bradshaw hammer, nice roundhouse kick. Can you imagine a spinning roundhouse?
Super kick, for crying out loud, a super kick.
Oh, my God.
Incredible.
A super kick. Like, there's no reason we couldn't allow you to set up your opponent with his back to the ropes, stunned, and then super kick him over the top rope.
Exactly right. Or off a cage, or not a cage, but like if you had like a Hell in a Cell, and you'd be able to super kick somebody off that. Are you kidding me?
I know. Oh, awesome. I know, right? I can't wait to see the bump videos that people make, man. It's gonna be crazy. Let's see here, some more ladder match. Yeah, of course. I mean, man, physics with a ladder, with the teeter-totter kind of setups and stuff. I mean, I talk about batshit. I mean, just dropping a ladder into this ring, with physics applied to it, letting people go nuts. It's gonna be crazy, just off the top.
Well,
man.
What was funny is everybody picked up almost on it right away. I started as a single 1v1 exhibition match, no cage, nothing, and even doing a simple body slam, and it sent the canes that were lying in the ring like up in the air about 4 feet. It was great.
Yeah, so maybe people want to tone that down. Maybe they want even crazier. Who the hell knows?
I think just the setting would solve all those problems.
Well, here's a spot I want to see. Sounds really minor, but what I want to see is outside the ring, I want to Irish whip my opponent into the crowd barrier so hard that physics kicks in and you knock through the crowd barriers and can get the crowd fight and pick up the crowd barriers and swing them like you're swinging a table or a ladder, like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, good times. Good times.
Man, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I want to be able to go up on the stage and just cause carnage with the stage, scaffolding and objects, knocking them over on people, like I
said, it's like I said, we're so lucky. We're so lucky. These cats are just tearing it up, and God, I feel like I'm trying to help out where I can, but God, I just we're wrong for the ride.
What's great?
I'm trying to work on the UI guys for you guys. I'm trying to get that cleaned up, but geez.
Is the difference? One of the differences between our current crew and some of the past crews is that these guys they're up for a challenge. Like you ask them, hey, would it be possible? Do you think to do something even WWE games don't do and add ragdoll knockouts? Instead of saying, oh well, there's 100 reasons why we can't. They're like, hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Let's get her done. Let's try to make it happen. So. That's the kind of attitude you want when you're the scrappy little underdog wrestling game maker here.
Like I said, we're just so lucky. I mean, my God, this is, they've put we tease about the bugs and some of this kind of stuff, but my God, the level of how hard this is and how much. I can tell you right now, guys, Robert works so hard, and he puts these major bursts, and I feel terrible for him because I think he just wears himself out like crazy. But it's really, really, like I said, the end result is just amazing. And when you guys mark out for it, Dave, I hope you were taking screen captures again. It's really, really cool. It's really, really cool. And like I said, it's so neat to be able to go to these. I just got a message from Robert. And I said, hey, boss, I'm here. My God, the reaction to Ragdoll, so epic. And he's like, okay, cool. Great to hear. Good reactions to the Ragdolls. Oh, yeah, make sure not to play 3 or 4-way matches tonight because of me having to introduce new things. I had to rearrange some code to get everything working. I have already addressed the issues and a fix before releasing this to the public. Outstanding.
Yeah. Oh, well, I guess this will be the last you guys see of this build. I guess we're going to fix this shit up before it goes public. But, yeah, okay. I want to see. What do I want to see here? Let's do a single. Hardcore. Let's see how that's going. Because, eventually someone's going to try a moonsault and it's going to get interrupted. Yeah. And I'm going to see this happen. Gotta ask Robert how it's even done, man. It's my two guys, man. I'm gonna just crawl up here and see what else we got here for some questions. Ragdoll double team moves. Eric and I were talking about this afternoon. What I want to see is someone set up the Doomsday device with Ragdoll on the opponent for that when you clothesline them off his shoulders. Because in real life, nobody ever hit the damn ground the same way twice taking that move, man. They would flip, twist, and all sorts of damn things. But
Ralph was demanding that you pick a different ring.
Pick a different ring?
Which one did he pick? I don't even. Which one did he, we all do the same one, I know. It's mix it up. Give it, okay, you know.
A different one. I thought I picked a different one.
I know. I just like that one so much. It's like my favorite ring, so I always pick that.
Yeah.
I want to see the ability to dive off the speakers at the top of the arena. Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so now the logo's back for the entrance on the curtain.
Okay.
So that's weird. But I noticed it. It wasn't in the the first match that I played. So I don't know. Maybe it was something with the arena or something. Yeah, Robert's like, oh God, I hope it wasn't a train wreck. I was like, yeah.
No, man, I think we got a pretty good understanding group of Twitch followers that know when we show these builds, we're showing warts and all, usually untested, freshly unboxed versions. So, everybody gets a chance to see what we see.
Yep. Well, and I mean that's why we do what we do. We show how the sausage is made, gang. It's no pre-polished stuff. It's no, you see all the crap. You see, and we're not afraid to show it. It happens. This is how real game development is, and so we're pretty proud to show, even if something's busted. You're like, hey, we want to show it off with you guys. So many of you that have been in the chat and everything have been here week in and week out, and so it's you guys understand, and that's what's awesome. And we're happy to do all this stuff. So
exactly, because I know when I first started getting seriously into wrestling games, it was like, I could just dream of, wow, it must have been so cool to be sitting in the offices when Aki was making No Mercy or something, and
Pain 228397. Just the way that you phrased that.
What's that?
Just read his question. He wants a light-skinned black guy, and
okay,
he pretty much phrased it like that. And the way that he phrased it just made me laugh. But that's one of the things we're working on, is getting some more. I want some women in the game. I think it's time to get the women. We don't have any models for any of that stuff yet, though. So I know we got to kind of work our way through that. It's kind of getting the different body types, but I would love to see some Pro Wrestling X women wrestlers, no divas, none of that kind of crap. So.
Yeah, I want to see the women get in there and mix it up with the men in the exact same situations the men are in. Which I hope the WWE's coming around. I hear rumors of the first women's Hell in a Cell.
Oh yeah, it's coming at Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. I'm a little nervous. I got to tell you, I'm scared because these Sasha and Charlotte seem to be pushing some boundaries, and I'm scared somebody's going to get really hurt. And so I don't need to see women bleed. I don't need to see anybody dive off that cage. I'm so scared that somebody's going to do it, like Charlotte's going to attempt a moonsault off of it, Kurt Angle style, and I'm really scared. I don't want her to break a neck.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I got scary, right? We got some compliments here on the wrestling models. I'll take those compliments.
Yeah, we've had kind of a few newbies here tonight that haven't seen us here before. And it's cool to see new people, and they ask good questions. And some of them, I think Simply Travis hasn't played in a little while, so he didn't see entrances. He hadn't seen the new cage and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's kind of cool to show that off.
it's just cool that we can actually show progress when people come back. It's so nice to get those messages on Facebook or whatever. People saying, "Hey, I bought the game when you guys launched it on Steam, and wasn't too thrilled, and wow, I came back and my God, it's not even the same game. It's incredible, and that feels good to know that we're actually making progress instead of excuses for not making progress." So
yeah. Well, like I said, we've got cats that are just devoted as hell, and they just God, they're just blowing it out. Like I said, I'm trying to do everything that I can, but I feel completely useless at times. I mean, I'm trying with UI, I'm trying with some of the web stuff and all that stuff, but my God, it's like I am indebted to these guys for how hard they're working, and it's like I just I just completely mark out for them, and whatever they need, I've said, all right, like Mr. Wrestling 5 needs some drudgery Photoshop work done this week, and I was like, all right, I'll do it. I can do that. And so I actually had fun doing it, just doing the old outlining and knocking out for the crowd and all that kind of stuff. So that was good. I mean, you feel like you're helping, but
well, you feel like you're actually contributing, concrete assets to the game to make it better and work,
Zeron, climbing the cage looked incredibly detailed. Yeah, I was able to show that off if you're watching this video and you didn't see part one. Part one is I zoomed in and I showed you how the hands and the feet match up exactly with the bars, and will the animation look the same for the other kinds of steel cage? That's why we started with the bars, and we set the bar there, no pun intended, so that the chain link should be much easier. Like his hands will still land in the middle of chain link. So yeah,
it should look all right. Yeah, and in fact, it should look okay because we're going to be experimenting with climbing different structures as well. Like, there's no reason this shouldn't look acceptable. Just trying to climb the scaffold models and stuff and whatnot. It should be all right. I mean, I guess it just depends on where you want to set the bar. So.
Yeah, we got Robert, and he's like, "Oh my God, you know you're going to see Ragdoll in 2K18 next year," and he said, "Just watch out for any WWE agents in the chat room stealing our ideas."
Well,
it wouldn't be the first time that they stole shit from us.
What's funny though? I mean, Ragdoll in wrestling games must have been pitched at every development meeting at every wrestling game developer since it was possible. I mean, it's been there. It's not like we invented Ragdoll or the idea of it. I mean, so why wouldn't they try? I don't.
Well, it's probably because it's the same thing, because it gets cartoony, but I don't know. We're gonna have some fun with it and just kind of see how it goes. I mean, we're gonna be perfecting it, and even, like I said, it's hard to do this stuff right the first time out. I mean, so even if somebody else tries to copy it, hopefully we've got a year head start or however long it takes for us to perfect it. We're just gonna see how things go. I mean, it's that's how it'll work. So. But remember that, Dave, when we were so convinced that Vince was stealing all of our ideas because they kept showing up, and you're like, I just look back, Jesus Christ. Although, I was looking through the stats log to see if we had any IP addresses from Stamford, Connecticut, and
I remember that. God. Yeah.
What a bunch of tools.
Boy, we thought we were important, eh?
Yeah, I know. Hey, guess what? You didn't mean shit. The new speaking of which, the new weapons, they look great when you can bring a weapon in to the ring. It looks awesome. So good job.
I want to be able to, absolutely looks great, and I would love to see them climb that steel cage with a kendo stick in hand. I don't know what you'd do with it when you got to the top, but man.
Well, I mean, you could come down and maybe, do some kind of like a clothesline or something with it, like kind of holding it as a I don't know. One time.
Zeron says Ragdoll in wrestling game has always been everyone's dream. Then why was it up to us to do it? I don't. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't make sense why no one has tried.
Well, listen, I'm not so sure how much effort they're even putting into these games anymore. It sounds like all they're trying to do is just get content, like Goldberg and all this stuff. I don't know. I said I haven't played a 2K game at all. And so I just don't know where the bar is at right now. I know graphically they look beautiful. But I look at the gameplay and it's like, God, I think our shit looks better. I mean, it doesn't look as pretty and as polished, but they have the same kind of glitches that we do.
It's funny.
And all the same guys. Yeah. I think our animations are better. I think they're smoother. I don't know, man.
I think I don't know. I played 2K16 as much as I could, and I know I sound like a complete douche because, you know, I'm also making a wrestling game, so I'm expected to be snarky about the competition, but I just wasn't having fun, man. All the mini games for the things like submission, I don't want to be watching a little circle with dots. I want to be watching the game, you know?
Yeah, I didn't, every bit of footage I've seen, I'm not impressed, and I gotta tell you, I don't know, it seems like reaction is always meh to those games. Like you get everybody, like everybody gets super hyped for the release, and like 2 days after they're playing it, they're kind of like, yeah, the game kind of, yeah, it was like the same old shit. And it's like I get that, you know.
Yeah. Well, here's what's funny, and I haven't brought this up too much because it's absolutely insane. But you know, I was kind of really working hard to get the review score for Pro Wrestling X into the mostly positive area, you know, because that really affects our revenue, you know, to have positive reviews.
Where are we at? Are we still mixed?
No, we've been at mostly positive now for a few weeks.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Awesome.
Yep.
But what's funny is that Steam will actually show you your percentage of positive reviews versus negative. And Jesus Christ, Pro Wrestling X was a higher reviewed game scores than the WWE 2K games on Steam.
I mean, the bar's higher. I mean, that's to be fair. The bar's higher for those guys, but and just the you have more casual gamers and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why I was like, you know, gang, you know, if you're looking at I put a couple of hashtags out tonight that I was like, hey, if you're looking for, you know, if you ain't real happy with 2K17, why don't you come check out what we got cooking? So I'm gonna try to maybe put together some videos or something and just see what happens here. We're getting a little bit of pickup and all that kind of stuff, but we're getting some new people in chat here tonight, and we'll, you know, what I want to start doing is getting these videos down so people don't have to watch an entire hour. Just to start clipping some highlights. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't know. See if I can work on some of that kind of stuff and just see if we can put some things together. So.
Yup, exactly. We've been neglecting YouTube, and actually, I think it'd be nice to get back on that and put some compilation stuff.
And Johnny Werewolf makes a really good point that he talks about, like all the 2K stuff are all mocapped, and you can clearly see how everything's not connecting. And that just goes to show you that our animator doesn't do mocap. He's doing it all like freestyle, and it's amazing to watch. In fact, yeah.
Like, I mean, it's really interesting, you know, when we went through the process of starting to animate for Pro Wrestling X, it was a bit of a learning curve to actually try to get these moves to look like they hurt, like they created impact, like we needed a pile driver or something. But it was interesting because if an animator would copy video reference frame for frame of an actual pile driver, it didn't look like it hurt or that he connected. Why? Because he didn't. You know, it's wrestling. He's protecting his opponent. And we found that actually real life video reference for a lot of wrestling's most dangerous looking moves never really worked well. You need that animator, their understanding of wrestling, that flair, you know, for making the moves look real, to really punch it up. You know, it became kind of funny that actual wrestling footage made for some of the worst reference footage, you know, because the guy's head never really did hit the ground. So
well, I remember that because I mean that's like people like Daryl and stuff were like, you know, they didn't know, and so they were kind of tracing it. I mean, it's like, yeah, that doesn't look right because it was really something.
Yeah, I know. And the animator like, what are you talking about, man? It's frame for frame perfection.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, why doesn't it? Wow, what's going on? So, yeah, I know this is man. I sound like Trump not answering my own questions tonight or something. But rambling.
Don't go there. I was enjoying my night, trying to stay positive, but God, I'm telling you, oh boy, rough sledding these days here in America.
You guys,
I've got so many. I got a few friends that are just off their damn rockers, and they believe every conspiracy theory, and now I'm finding out that Russia, everything that they've been citing for evidence of the big conspiracy is like Russia's been doctoring the stuff. It was like, oh, come on, y'all. You're killing
how
me.
is this even? This isn't. I know it's beyond. It's beyond the fantasy at this point. It's crazy. So it'll all be over in a month, and you guys will be back to whatever normal is.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at.
Boy, I think people are going to miss old Barry when he's gone.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, everybody was, complaining like crazy. But I think people are going to be really missing Obama when he goes. So I don't know, man.
I know that you guys all need a vacation after it's over. You should have like an American 2-week enforced vacation for everyone the day after Election Day.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
God, you guys definitely need a stress relief, man. Jesus Christ.
Well, we just got to get everybody to just settle down. But it's getting worse than ever. I mean, it's the split is getting more vicious and more. It's just, oh man, I tell you.
Whoa, Slateboard. I'm just reading the chat room. He said, if you go into sleep mode on PS4 while in the main menu of WWE 2K17, you can lose all your save data.
Oh, wow, really?
That sounds like No Mercy's famous freaking, glitch where they erased all your save data. Wow, man, you don't have to copy everything from No Mercy. That's crazy.
God, that is an old school glitch right there.
Good God, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna keep scrolling up here on some of these. I think we'll probably wrap it up here shortly.
Yeah, we got another 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes tops. That'll put us at 11 o'clock. We're at 50 minutes now for the second version. So,
Heaven Spawn wants to see titles and stuff. Yeah, we've been talking about that and introducing. I mean, we still have some core gameplay stuff. You still can't do submissions to a lying, face down, pull him face up, or properly strike him, and blah blah blah. There's a lot of stuff yet. Minor kind of stuff compared to what we've been through, but pretty major milestones for us, right? So, yeah, when we get all that kind of stuff done, I completely lost my train of thought. Was I actually talking for the last 5
I think I'm just letting it go. I'm just letting it go there.
Everybody wants to see the disco rave from the old 2008 Wrestling X demo that we played about a month ago. God, I gotta dig all that stuff. There's gotta be an Easter egg in there.
Well, I'd like to go through and get, like I said, put some. I think it'd be fun to put little Easter eggs and a couple of hat tips to some of our Gong Show stuff. And will Pro Wrestling X delete our save game randomly, or do you keep it accurate? I don't know.
Play it for a long time and let us know. Yeah.
I was like, oh. We have to have something to save first. We can't even save options correctly right now. So.
Was that we were talking about the other day? Talking about parental controls, and then we realized, well, we've got nothing to parentally control yet. We're going to actually have to add some freaking.
Yeah, exactly right. As I said,
we have to add, some questionable material before there's a reason to have it. But,
hang tight with the crowd. We're working on cleaning that up. Mr. Wrestling 5 knows all about that, and so yeah. Will
you guys be speeding up the walking speed? We're always tweaking the basic gameplay flow, and I know exactly what you mean, man. Grimhold, obviously, he's what would you call it? Realistic? I don't know. That doesn't seem good.
He's a little constipated right now. He's a little backed up. There's no other really. I mean, I admit it. It's I see what they're going for, and I don't mind other poses. I think it helps break up the. Because I think to Robert's point is it makes them more of like a monster, to have that taller presence and to not be like in shoot fighter mode. I get that. I think maybe he just needs to figure out just clean that up a little bit, but
Yeah. So what would you do if you were hired to, be the producer there? What would you do? First steps. What's your big executive decision?
Well, I'd probably start studying like what Kane looks like. Kane seems like a good example of Grimhold. Like Grimhold is like Kane is a good place to start. And so I would look at his matches, and I would start seeing how like he tries to like. This is probably what I would do. Is I would probably have the standing idol be up tall, but when he walks, I would maybe crouch him down a little bit more. Because I think that's kind of what people are beefing on, is that he's walking very stiffly, like he is the Yeti, from WCW, where he comes out and he's all wrapped up in the toilet paper or whatever it was, and he was doing like all that kind of stuff. I think he walks a little Frankenstein-y right now, and so I think the standing idle would have him be more upright and do all that. But I think the new walk cycle, I would probably have him a little bit more fluid and a little bit more. I don't know. That's just me. Dave, we got more requests for some more ragdolls. Might as well throw a couple in there before we take off here.
Sure, what the hell, man? Where the hell am I? I need tobacco. The frick? Okay. Ready, start. No, quit.
Quit. Yep.
Yeah, awesome.
Yep, we got coming right now.
2K17 have blood? I assume it would. Alright, exhibition. Wait, options. AI is basic. HUDs. Do. Everything's off the way I like it. Awesome. Alright, exhibition. Give me that good old-fashioned cage match. Boom.
It's interesting that you say that, Alex. He said this game is influenced by the great games, but it's currently now in its own league. And that's actually kind of a funny... It's funny you say that, because we were even talking about that the other day, that it's like, we've always been kind of like, Team No Mercy, and that's like our but doing some of this stuff starts making it our own. And so pick a different ring, Dave. There you go.
What? Oh, I think we did.
There you go. Yeah,
it's later. So,
Payne, thanks for stopping out. You were in almost the whole 2 hours, so thank you very much for coming out. And said we're trying to do these things pretty much every maybe at least every other Tuesday. It's hard to do these things every week when you don't have a ton of stuff, but if we got new stuff, we always make a big deal out of it. So so we'll see how it all goes. But just stay tuned. Facebook, Pro Wrestling X, Pro Wrestling X on Twitter. We're at ProWrestlingX.com for the website. We got a mailing list, all that jazz. I fixed the mailing list, so now you can sign up again. We're going to pretend that bug didn't actually happen. Don't say that, Alex. If you're relying on us to improve your life, boy, I feel for you, brother. No, but it's cool. You guys make my week too. These are occasionally, it's like, oh God, we got a broadcast tonight. But every time I start doing it and start laughing with you guys and stuff, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
1444p monitor, eh? Wow. I'd love to see a picture of that. Like when you get it running, send us a pic.
All right, what am I gonna do here? What did I do?
I don't know. I can't see
it yet. Did I break the game already? Okay. Are we allowing people to import their own loading screens yet?
No. Well, I think. I take it back. I think they can if they throw stuff in that streaming assets folder.
Oh, okay, cool. Come on, you bastard.
Well, just let him go climb the cage. Let him beat you. That's when it's more fun.
If he would. Throw me into the cage. Oh, he's going for it.
That's the other thing I would love to be able to do is do the old school, throw him into the cage spot.
Yeah.
I think would be really fun. I think it would just be like a grapple position. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Whoa!
Oh!
Into the ropes. That's what I want to see.
You got him all the way across the ring. Oh my God!
Oh, that was beautiful. Now let's see now if I can make him, do it to me.
Oh, diggity dog.
Give him a little cutter there.
It's fun when you do the screenshot mode and you really slow it down and you see how the guy transforms in midair. It's sick. It's sick.
All right, get out of my way. All right. Let's see if I can make him come after me. I like the way the cage even rattles.
It bounces. It said the interaction looks really, really good. They did a really good job with that.
All right. Now, let's see what happens if I just sit here.
If you just sit there, I don't know if he can eject you or not. We'll give it a shot.
I like the way he just sits there and looks around.
Oh, I've got a screenshot of how it looks like he's looking out into the crowd. It looks awesome.
Right on.
Yeah, if he launches you, slow it down, do it in slow-mo.
Oh, wait, what am I doing? I can do a moonsault from up here, right? I don't want to screw it up, though.
Yeah, wait for it to see if...
I'll give him a couple seconds.
When he gets chucked, when he gets chucked off the cage, he's dead. And when both of you have done it, that's the one downside, is you both just lay there after any move for like a minute. And you're like, hey, I'd like to be able to play the game, but both guys are completely knocked out.
That's funny. I'm going to go for a moonsault, guys. He ain't doing nothing. Watch this. Woo! Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, except he missed. That's the thing I like about this is the moonsault from the top of the cage.
That right there is where Ragdoll makes perfect sense. That's where it makes perfect sense. Maybe pick him up or something.
What I like about it is he doesn't auto-target. It's really, really high risk to go for a fly move from the top of the cage. You will not auto-rotate or target your opponent like you will if you try the moonsault from the top rope. You know? From the top rope is kind of...
He killed Grasshopper.
Yeah, I think
he's dead.
I mean,
did you see the fall he took?
I know.
Probably like broken neck.
Watch him kick out. Oh, yeah, of course.
Did he seriously kick out? All right, so now you got to climb the cage. Now you got to climb it because he's clearly got enough fight left in him.
Come on, pal.
Just start climbing right there or something, or kick him, give him a drop kick or something, or I don't know. Yeah, I think when he lands and then goes into Ragdoll.
Oh, a Ragdoll from like 2 feet off the ground.
See, that's where it's goofy right there when you jump on.
Yeah. A little bit. Hey, watch him pin me now. Really? Hey. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I didn't succumb to the,
But what'll happen is you're both are going to lay here for a minute.
Well, he should have had it so you can do a little tap of the A button to recover.
Yeah. Now see if you can repel the cage now and see if we can, like I said, see if he'll wake up.
I thought if I just picked him up there, he would.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Maybe try to kick him down.
For your little crop, yo. Okay, well, you can see where we're kind of learning how to draw the line in the sand here between realism and totally.
Well, and that's like I said, this is okay though. I mean, this is what we're trying to figure out. But when he lands after the moonsault is exactly when Ragdoll should trigger, because you're like knocked out and you bounce back up and you're just like, limbs are splayed everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty neat. Okay, so he's going for it.
Oh, he's going for it. Okay, cool. Come on, you bastard. Come on, you bastard. All right, so I'm going to go to the side a bit, knock him off. Okay, come on, man. Let's do it. Bam! Oh my God! Oh
God!
That is I missed it. I missed the screenshot. That would have been tight.
That was a good one.
And on that note, I hope everyone enjoyed our introduction to Ragdoll physics in a wrestling game. If you like Pro Wrestling X taking chances on stuff that other companies won't or can't, we'll keep trying weird and crazy stuff, man. As long as we stick to the core principles of we want this game to be, relatively realistic to the sport we love, to the kind of game we like to play, without it getting too redonkulous.
I'm kind of starting to warm up to the redonkulous. This is actually pretty fun.
It should be an option. I think it needs to. I think we need to always leave it to the player if they want it to go.
He's going to go for it again. Do a screenshot on this one.
Oh, absolutely. He's got to get to the
because we got to try to figure out like where the sweet spot is for all the physics and all that kind of stuff.
I know.
Oh God, this is gonna be a good one.
What's even starting? What is this? Like, this is.
No, that's what I mean. It's like he's just like. Ah!
I gotta throw this question out to all the Fire Pro gamers out there. You see the way he reacts when he falls and hits the mat. What do you think batshit ragdoll would look like if he falls and lands on C4 instead?
Oh God, we might have to just make that before 1.0 because oh my God, he'd launch like, oh my God.
I can't. Or even like, Fire Pro's electric cage. Just.
Oh my God. I didn't even think about C4. Oh my! Oh, we're gonna have to experiment with that.
His head flop around like a rubber chicken.
I told you I had one where I missed a moonsault, and I must have gone almost 10 feet in the air.
This looks like it, man. Your knee is just twisting. This is hard to watch. This is hard to watch, man. Your poor knee. Oh, Ray. Oh, man.
That is good times. That is good times. Well, like I said, these are all things that we can turn off and on based on what your mode is.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Oh, crazy.
Good times. Good times. So, all right, y'all. It's been real. It's time for bed.
Has it been real?
It has been something. It's it's poor grasshopper. He dead. He dead. But good times. Thanks a lot for all the thanks for the good times here tonight.
All the so-called encouragement. This is exactly the kind of thing. You don't encourage
you gotta
those
stop
boys.
enabling us.
Oh God, it's been a blast. I don't even. It's like I don't want to quit, but I know I have to get some actual.
Yep.
Tonight,
I stayed up too late watching the Cubs game last night, so I'm pretty gassed. So.
It's all good.
All right, y'all. Thanks a lot. You guys know the drill. Subscribe. We picked up a bunch of new subscribers to Twitch here tonight, so thank you for that. And we'll get this dumped on YouTube here probably tomorrow, and that way we'll be able to kind of show this. I'm going to try to see if I can figure out a way to get this streamed. Zeron, stay tuned. We'll probably push a build out to the testers here soon, but we'll figure it all out. We're going to get all the logistics in place and all that stuff. So, fun times.
Exactly. So thanks a lot, y'all. You know where to find us, and it's going to be a good year for Pro Wrestling X, man.
That's right. Thanks for all your support. Big time.
Yep, you guys rock. Cheers.
Cheers.